Good afternoon, friends. Having written and published 10 books internationally, over the last 15 years, I have become a reasonable successful writer. Many of you aspire to do the same and want to become a reasonable successful writer, or at least to become a better writer. I get requests for help every day from people asking, how can I write like you? Or they say, I'm not very good in writing, I'm not a good writer. Or I sit down to write and nothing comes out. My friends, remember, I cannot teach you how to write or how to write better, but I can share with you how I write, and you can take from the clues and as a takeoff point. So today I'll be giving a talk on, for writing to be both powerful and compelling, it's all up to you, my friends. So there are a few realities I'm going to share with you which might help you on your path to becoming a better writer. First and foremost, I write like I think. I write like I talk. The thoughts I write are a salient extension of what I would have said if I was speaking aloud or delivering a talk. That's why I read aloud when I edit my own write-ups. I want my writing to sound like I'm talking, I'm delivering a talk. I will often get a letter of email that reads or that says, I feel like you were talking to me as I was reading. And I feel like you were standing right there next to me. That's because I write and the way I speak. I write, my friends, anywhere, anytime. I don't need a space or a place. I just need an idea or a thought. I write when an idea strikes. If I'm not near a computer, I find any scrap of paper or napkin I can get my hands on. The object is to capture the idea or the thought the moment it pops into your mind. You will never remember it later. It's going to pass and flow. I collect ideas. I collect thoughts. I have hundreds of them. When I want to write about something, or I have a deadline, I select one of my ideas and expand on it simply. When I get the idea, I stretch it. I write everything that comes to my mind. All of the thoughts, phrases or words I can think of. I just brain dump until it's all out. I may edit a few things when I'm done. But I write and dictate in a flurry, because ideas are fleeting and thoughts are even more fleeting. In last 15 years of writing, the one thing I have found to be more true is that thoughts will leave your head if you don't write them down at once, immediately. I write from my own experience. I don't need research statistics to back up a thought or a concept. Either it happened to me or I believe it to be true based on my personal experience. Statistics, like, I don't. When I write a column or a chapter, I stick to one subject, thought or theme. This creates an in-depth look and forces me to look beyond the norm and create a new idea for worn-out methods and conventional thinking. I write with authority, simple. I'm emphatic and declarative. If you read my thoughts, you have no doubt about what I am saying or how I feel about it. I don't call it anything. It's common. Don't claim ownership at all. I'll be reading a story or a chapter in someone else's book, and the writer will say, and I call it customer service. Well, they have sparkly. What does everyone else call it? It's a million times more powerful and authoritative to say. I don't care about grammar also much. I write so that the reader can get it. He can understand the idea what I'm propagating or telling. I care about how it sounds when it is read and how it looks when you read it. Not what some silly rule says. I put hyphens and apostrophes where they don't belong. So the reader has an easy time following the flow and understanding of thought instead of getting stuck in the grammar. I care about structure and flow. It's very important. I want one thought to flow to another without hindrance. Whether it doesn't or can't, I make structure a list of things. The list flows from top to bottom. I surely rely on spell checks and keep on writing until I complete the thought. I never stop writing to fix something until the thought I am writing is complete. Spelling and writing are mutually exclusive. If you stop to spell, you lose the thought, flow and momentum. You can always check your spelling later. You can always retain the thoughts or flow. I write it in the male gender simply because I'm a male. I never mean to offend anyone. I'm trying to make points, generate new thinking and help promote succeed. That advice comes there's no gender. It might be no gender at all. It reads between the pronouns. Don't get hung up on them at all. My writing, you see, I say voice is not a PC. If I waste time with his or her, I lose my thoughts. I don't mean to be insulting. I'm just writing in my voice. It's how I grew up. It's the same voice. All of us, the early books I read and continue to read. I do not include myself with the reader. I separate myself from the reader with pronouns. With pronouns. I say you, your, they, he, she, it, or thee, never, we, or our. I talk in the reader but never include myself in the thought. We all know, rather you know. Not our thoughts tells us. Rather your thoughts tells you. I break the rules of traditional writing, grammar and punctuation surely. Teachers of grammars would not give me a passing grade even. My lot of friends, they keep telling me my spellings are poor. That's fine. I could care less. I have sold many more books in many languages. You see? And that's a proof enough that people like it. I edit when I finish, but I edit better a day later. Editing is revealing. It tells you what you are thinking at that moment when you wrote. Editing a day later reveals what I was thinking when I wrote this. My editing secret is that I read aloud when I edit. And I ask others to edit when I think I'm finished. Both of these secrets make my writing twice as powerful and meaningful too. I use first person singular sparingly. If you are familiar with my writing, you know I avoid first person plurals, we, our, like the play. It sucks the power of our writing and it drains the impact of lowering the value. And ultimately, my friends, remember, I love to write. This may be the biggest secret of writing, which with passion and clarity. I believe loving it makes the thought deeper and more consistent. I believe loving it makes it consider long-term legacy as well as short-term impact. I believe my power of writing makes me a more complete writer. Content becomes more relevant and pride of authorship shows through in every sentence. Thank you very much.